I mean, again, he doesn't know who Gabriel is, right? Because he didn't come from an Abrahamic faith. The people of Mecca were pagan.
The Quran is mentioned, if this book was from other than God, they would have found in it many contradictions.
If a book is without contradictions, that has no bearing on whether it comes from God or not. I've had phone books that are inerrant, but I certainly don't think God gave them.
That we believe without understanding.
The brother asked a very important question, that most of the scholars say that listening to music, watching movies, and most of the television programs, they're haram. So how can we have fun? Let me tell you, brother, at the outset, that having fun is permitted in Islam as long as the fun is halal fun.
That the standard narrative has holes in it.
The Prophet tells us because Satan or the devil sleeps over our nostrils. Those who oversleep and not pray Fajr on time, Satan urinates in their ears.
I really do think Jesus was crucified and that he really was dead and buried. He thought that he was a son of God in the sense that he was specially chosen by God. I think Jesus really did think he was going to be the Messiah, the future king of Israel. I mean, that is, after all, why they crucified him.
Hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. I hope my voice is coming good and clear. Please invite your friends and let us have some halal fun together. Just to remind the Muslims, I have my Skype is open already in case there is any Muhammadan would like to join us and he decide to prove us wrong. And for those who they are in the chat, please, you do not need to tell that you left the broadcast of David Wood to join mine. It doesn't matter where you go. This is your business. You like to go there, you like to be here, it's always good. As you see the title, actually, I was going to go to a different topic, but then I said, you know what, let us go for something really more important. Muslims, they say that they have faith, and the faith is to whom? They say they have faith in Allah. My voice is low? I don't think so. Let us see. I think this is from your side, my friend. I think my voice is fine. So when the Muhammadan, he say he have faith, and he have faith in Allah, and we find later that Allah is a person who have no faith. Let us say he is unfaithful. Maybe this is better a statement. He is unfaithful. So how I can have faith in someone is unfaithful? That is stupid, isn't it? Imagine, like even in normal relationship between people, a person, he get married from a woman, or a woman, she accept to marry a man. The main agreement here is to be faithful for each other. So if we are not faithful, there is no marriage. And that goes for anything, agreement, business, even with bank. When you put your money in the bank, you have faith that this bank is faithful to you. Otherwise, only crazy people will put their money in the bank. So when a Muhammadan, he say, I have faith in God. Well, is your God faithful? How you can have faith in God in a God who is not faithful? So the challenge is for the Muhammadan, and my Skype is open, who is a Muhammadan, is willing to call us and show us that Allah is faithful. The base in your religion is to be faithful, right? Any Muhammadan? If you are a Muhammadan, you like to call us, please feel free. My Skype is open. Just text me, and I will call you. When people, they speak about worshiping God, it's going to be funny to worship a God first. I do not know. And it's going to be funnier to believe in a God who don't keep his words if he exists. Any Muhammadan? Anyone? Who's a Muhammadan would like to tell us, is Allah is a God who you can trust him? Anyone? Come on, Christian, and debate Mimi in Fitra channel, my friend. Okay, Fitra, Tutu channel, Potato channel. Let them call. Give me his Skype. I will call him. Give me that guy, the kid you are saying he can debate me. I will call him right now. What do you want to do? I mean, just give me the Skype. I will call him. Come on, CP. Come on to this channel. Come on to that channel. There is no need for them to go to any channel, and there is no need for me to go to their channel. They give me Skype, right? Any Muhammadan? Any Muhammadan? Stop making excuse. Come to our channel. There is no need for you to come to my channel, and I am not asking you to come to my channel. Just give me your Skype. Stay home. Be happy. Okay? You can just bring your 4 wives around you, and they can feed you grape. You know, if you want, you can open your camera, and one of your wives, she can, you know, she can give you the grape, and you will show that you are the man. Any Muhammadan? Anyone? Who is a Muslim, a sheikh? He is willing to help us. Don't debate us, you know. Anyone? You see, a person who believes in God, like for us, we have a statement in the Bible saying that God said, if God is with me, who could be against me? So it doesn't matter how we debate, when we debate, just let us debate. You will win. You know, people ask me, like there's people that used to come to your chat room. We don't see them no more. Long time ago in PalTalk. First of all, I do not know those people. I never met them in person. And everybody go in his life. I don't know. I mean, how I know where people go? You know? Anyway. So, like, here we go. We have people here keep coming every day. When we go live, we know them by name as a nickname. But who are they? Where they live? What they do? How in the world I will know? So if somebody stop coming, even if he used or she used to come to my chat for years, yeah, you know, people live, people die, people, we don't know. So ask me, please, something, you know, useful. Do we have any Muhammadan here would like to join us in Skype and call us? Right? Anyone? Actually, we have a new version of Deception of Allah in Russian, and later I will reload it in Gmail. And we ask, you know, some people to made an adjustment for the Russian book and add the Putin and Kadyrov picture. So look like we have it done, you know. So we are going to publish it soon, as soon as I put it in you know, G Drive, and we will give it to you. And I would like you, all of you, to share it in Kadyrov pages. You know, if you go to his TikTok, because this guy, he go in TikTok and those, you know, app, and his fan, they give him like, yeah. That would be a nice gift. Do we have any Muhammadan? Any Muhammadan would like to join us and prove to us that Allah is faithful? May they, open challenge. You see those Muhammadan, all of them, they claim to have knowledge. You know, like I remember, you know, once I called the Deen Show, and I even publish it in YouTube, I think. Yeah, in YouTube, and we play it in PalTalk. And you know, I called the Deen Show, and they refused to let me go through. You know, I called them live, and they refused to let me go through. But this guy in the TV, live, he was saying, call us live right now. If you have a question, call us live. And then they receive a question, you know, but the phone never ring, and we don't hear the question. So this Yusuf Estate, he supposedly he's holding a cell phone, which is very funny. I never heard of such a TV doing that. He hold a cell phone and he say, yeah, okay, brother. Okay. There's nobody's asking question. Nobody is even calling. And when we try to call them live on air, they don't let us go through. So now this is a challenge for you. If you have a Muslim sheikh, he is live on air now or dead in air, I don't care. Give me his Skype, I will call him. He live in Pakistan, he live in Bangladesh, he live in Saudi Arabia. He is white, he is black, he is Asian, I don't care. Who is a brave Muslim? He can take my call. I don't care who is he, how big, how small, it doesn't matter. What do you think? Any Muhammadan? Is Allah a faithful God? You see, first of all, you know, if we study a little bit about the God of Islam, we find that Allah is a stupid person, you know. As an example, Allah, he claimed that the one who you should worship is somebody he can create a fly, as you see in the verse, chapter 22, verse number 73. And then we find that, isn't it the Quran says that Jesus created from the mother bird? So the verse saying the one you should worship is someone he can create at least a fly. Well, that's mean Christians, when they worship Jesus, they have their reason, and it's a good reason, logical reason. The Quran is coming with this reason. Okay, we have a Muhammadan. Let us see. I don't know if this is an ex-Muslim or this is a Muslim. I'm not sure. I forgot. But looked like he called us before.
Hello?
Yes, my friend, you are live on air.
Yes, Christian Prince, how are you?
I'm fine. You are a Muslim?
No, I'm ex-Muslim, actually.
Oh,
I called
okay.
before.
Yeah. I saw, but I didn't, like, I mean, I don't remember. I see the name as a Muslim name. All right.
Thank you, thank you. Christian Prince, I just want to say to the viewers, if people are hurt by the pain that Muhammad has caused, by all the trauma that has, Jesus can save you. If there is anyone in the world that can save you, it's Jesus. And he can wash away all the pain that Muhammad caused. And all the anguish and all the fear, it can be washed away with the blood of Jesus.
I mean, to that.
So, for anyone,
Yeah, but
please
just to make
put
it
your
clear,
faith-
you know,
Yes.
when you speak to Muslims, when you say the blood of Jesus, I advise the Christians, I know you are an ex-Muslim and now you became a Christian, but I advise the Christians not to use such a sentence because people, they might be confused about it. You see, those words, you throw it to somebody, you do not have a background of Christianity, you will say, what, the blood of Jesus? What are you talking about? Or, you know, a Christian, he says, we eat the body of Jesus. Oh, the Christians are zombie, you know, they drink the blood of Jesus and they eat the body of Jesus, you know, when it is a bread and a drink. So we need to be careful when we deliver a message to people who don't believe in the Bible. They don't have a background of the Bible. And we should make it, you know, more clear that when we say the blood of Jesus, we mean everything Jesus did to us, not only just the cross. Everything Jesus, whoever believe in me and die, Jesus said he will live. And he said that when he is alive, not after, right? So whoever believe in me and die, he will live. And this is Jesus before the cross. So because the cross is the top giving Jesus he did, you know, he humbled himself. He accepted to be in a cross and to be humiliated by, you know, by just normal people who they are making fun of him. And because this is the top gift he gave to us, is his blood, so we say and we mention how priceless this gift is. So we have to be careful when we mention it to non-Christians, otherwise they might you know, take it wrongly and misunderstand.
Thank you for clarifying, Christian Prince. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Well, thank you for calling, my friend. Thank you. And don't forget to ask, as long as you used to be an ex-Muslim, maybe you can ask some Muhammadan to join us. Okay, we have a Muslim, maybe. I don't know. Let us see. We are trying to call him. I will stop the noise of Skype so it doesn't hurt your ears. I'm trying to call this person. It looked like he have a bad connection because his Skype is not getting hold. Let us try again to call him. All right, maybe now it's working. Let us see. If you know a Muslim sheikh, he would like to join us, please feel free. We will be happy to talk to him. He is not answering. I don't know. Well, I tried to call you, my friend. The guy, his name is Ismailiah. I tried to call you. I will try one more time. All right? And we will see. He is not answering. Hello? Hello? Yes, my friend, you are a Muslim?
Yes, I am.
All right. Can you speak louder a little bit, please?
This is as much as I can speak.
All right. So the topic today is if Allah is faithful. Is he a faithful God?
Sure.
What faithful God mean to you?
We need to define what to be faithful first.
So how you answer me without knowing what I'm asking then? Because if you do not know the definition of the word faithful, and then you said to me, sure, so you were sure about something you are not sure what it is?
No, your own definition may be different from mine.
Okay, my friend, I'm asking you, is Allah is faithful. So you said sure. So do you know what faithful mean?
Exactly.
Can you speak louder, please? Because if you want to talk, you know, we need to hear you. So what faithful mean?
Yeah. To be faithful is to do what you promised.
To keep what you promise. And what is the promise of Allah?
There are many of them. There are many, so many.
So what is the major promise of Allah you expecting from him?
That is in the hereafter, that he shall not be unfaithful. He shall not be unfair with me.
Okay, so the hereafter, who deserves to go to the hereafter? The sinners or the one who don't commit sin?
We shall all be raised, resurrected, and judged according to our deeds.
No problem, but I'm asking, is the one who do sin is going to go to the hereafter as a heaven or hereafter as a hell?
God does not demand sinlessness from anybody. Okay? So we are going to be.
So do Allah, your God, he like you more if you are sinless or have less sin, or he hate you if you are more sinless?
You cannot be sinless because you are created.
Sorry, it's my mistake. Let me rephrase the statement. So do Allah like you to do less sin, or he love you to do more sin?
And inevitability is not same as likeness. Okay, so it is inevitable that we are going to sin. That does not mean.
I'm not asking you your ability now. I'm asking you, if I commit more sin, do Allah like me more, or Allah he don't like me?
You don't get it. Can I make myself clear?
Okay, go ahead, explain.
Okay, number one, all human beings are fallible. We can make sin either knowingly or unknowingly. That does not mean God wants us to sin.
Okay.
It's an inevitability.
Okay, so God don't want us to sin, correct?
Sure.
Okay, guys, did you hear it? So our friend here, his name is Ismailiah Abdulsalam. He is saying Allah don't want us to sin. Well, I like that. So how you explain to me what your prophet said? Your prophet said, if you don't commit sin, Allah would, will wipe you out of existence. He will destroy you. And he will replace you with people who commit sin and ask for forgiveness.
Yes, because you don't understand language use. Can I explain it?
What language use? Arabic is my first language.
No. To express a fact of an inevitability, I don't know whether you understand the meaning of inevitability, does not mean.
What ability? I'm not asking about ability. The hadith says, if you don't commit sin, commit sin. I asked you first, you said, Allah don't want us to commit sin. Do we agree on that? Allah don't want you. Okay, so if Allah don't want you to commit sin, so why Allah saying, if you don't commit sin, I will destroy you?
Yeah, because that is a language used, and I explained the reason why. Because human beings are fallible, so it's an inevitability that we are going to sin. That does not mean that God wants us to sin knowingly.
This has nothing to do with my question. He is saying, if you don't commit sin, if you don't, what Allah will do? Allah will destroy you. So now we are not discussing if you can or cannot, or if you are going not to be able to be perfect. This is not the question. But Allah is saying, if you don't commit sin, Allah will destroy you. You said to me that Allah, he don't want us to commit sin. But Allah is saying, no, I want you to commit sin. Actually, if you don't commit sin, I will destroy you, I will kill you, and I will bring people who commit sin and ask for forgiveness.
You are actually putting a spin on the statement.
I'm putting what? I'm putting what?
It's a spin on the statement.
What spin? What does that mean?
You are saying that God is saying he wants us to sin. He doesn't say that. He doesn't say that in the text.
Read it. It says, if you don't, Muhammad saying, by the one who is my hand has my soul, whose hand my soul is, if you do not commit sin, Allah would replace you with people who would commit sin. So now you are saying to me, I am written it there. This is what it says. If you don't commit sin, Allah will replace you, Allah will destroy you, and we bring people who, you know, commit sin.
You don't understand language use.
What language? What language? Do you speak Arabic, Mr. Language? Do you speak Arabic?
What you are speaking now is English, the translation, right?
No, when you say about language, I laugh because you are reading the English and my language is Arabic and I speak Arabic better than your prophet. Here so it says, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ لَوْ لَمْ تُذْنِبُوا لَذَهَبَ اللَّهُ بِكُمْ وَلَجَاءَ بِقَوْمٍ يُذْنِبُونَ فَيَسْتَغْفِرُونَ اللَّهَ فَيُغْفَرُ لَهُم. So don't tell me, do you don't understand the language? What language? It says it clearly, if you don't commit sin, Allah will destroy you. So why Allah will destroy you? Give me the answer. Why Allah will destroy you? Because you are not committing sin.
No, because you are taking an inability to mean a likeness or a commandment.
What a likeness? What does have to do with this? My friend, if you don't commit sin, what Allah will do?
Do you understand language use?
Oh, language use. My friend, speak to me in a language I understand. You are a genius, I'm not. If you don't commit sin, what Allah will do?
You are taking the text on the surface value, whereas
there is other way. There's other way, guys. You are taking the text literally. So it says it clearly. If you don't commit sin, I will sweep you out of existence. And you are telling me I'm taking it. It said He would sweep you out of existence. So Allah is lying to us. You claim Muslims that if you maintain yourself, if you pray to Allah, if you do whatever things, you know, do jihad, hate the Christians, hate the Jews, then you go to heaven. But Allah is saying, you know, if you don't commit sin, Allah will destroy you. And that is really proving that Allah is unfaithful, because, you know, did Allah create you to commit sin, or Allah created you not to commit sin?
You don't understand language. You start the problem.
You keep talking about language. You don't speak the language, and I'm reading to you in English, and you keep saying to me you don't understand the language. If you don't commit sin, why Allah will destroy me? Give me the answer, please. Why Allah will destroy me? It doesn't say that, CP. All right, he have a bad connection. Anyway. It doesn't say that, CP. There is a guy saying Fifi, Mimi. My friend, what Fifi? If you're Fifi there, he can call me Fifi. I am here. I say, who dare to give me his Skype? I will call him. As you see, my Skype is open for everybody. Potato, tomato, shish kebab, hummus. All of you is the same. All of you are potatoes. You have no shape. You change. You try to fix the Quran. You know, potato have no shape, have no look. Every potato is different. This is what Islam is a potato. The verse is so clear. If you don't commit sin, I will destroy you. The guy, he said to me, you don't understand the language. Like, what language? If you don't commit sin, I will destroy you. I will sweep you out of existence. Do we have any Muhammadan? Who is a Muhammadan? Wanna give it a try? All of you Muslims can refute me in making videos by yourself alone, but none of you can refute me by talking to me. You will make Allah a joke, you know, as simple as that. Your God is a joke. And by the way, here, the stupid Allah, he destroyed what he claimed, or the Muslim claimed, that because Adam and Eve commit sin, they were kicked out of heaven. And why people they will go to hell? Because they are committing sin, brother. No. No. Allah wants you to commit sin. Allah loves those who commit sin. Allah enjoy it. Allah, he wants people who ask for forgiveness. What the difference between the first group who did not commit sin and the second group who commit sin? The only difference is sin. One did not commit sin, and the other one commit sin. Okay? And now because you commit sin, you seek forgiveness. So Allah is unhappy with the first group because they are not asking for forgiveness. Why? Because simply they did not commit sin. So here you see that the idea of Islam is a stupid idea made by a mental idiot. He have a God. He believed that this God is a weirdo. He created you just to play a game. He want to see everybody, please forgive me, please. You know, like, he don't want to see a good boy. He don't want to see a good girl. He want to see a bad boy who asks for forgiveness. Unfaithful God. This is unfaithful God. This is stupid religion, claiming that if you follow the teaching of Allah, you go to heaven. No. If you seek forgiveness, you go to heaven. Go and do as you wish. If you don't go, if you don't kill, you don't go to heaven. Allah will destroy you. If you don't rape, Allah will destroy you. If you don't lie, Allah will destroy you. It's in front of you, and this is authentic. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to try? Who is a Muhammadan sheikh? I feel sorry for this guy. Ismailiah Abdulsalam. I mean, even his name weird. I mean, why in the world you call yourself such a name? Ismailiah Abdulsalam. What is that? Abdulsalam? Okay. Do we have any Muhammadan he can refute us that Allah is unfaithful? I claim Allah is unfaithful. Who want to prove me wrong? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, any two? You know, your God, Allah, he need to see a shrink. Imagine you have a father. Imagine you have a father. He will kill you literally just because you were a good son. Can you believe it? You have a father, he want to kill you because you are a good person. Since when? That how in the world this father is? Is he in drugs? Is he high? Yeah, the Muslim, they say he's high. I agree, Allah is very high. He's high with cocaine, he's like high with heroin. I don't know he's high with what, but this is a high person in drugs. Who is a Muhammadan would like to give us a call? Please, Muslims only. Any Muhammadan? Oh, hold, I have Zakir Naik. Christian Prince, I told you 1,000 times. First of all, you didn't understand the language. What language, you idiot? First of all, when you speak about language, go and fix your teeth and fix your mouth so you don't spit on us. Each time you talk to me, the rain comes. I don't even water my flowers here. It is just your spit. Christian Prince, first of all, if I don't spit, Allah will sweep me out of existence. Like, what the heck? I thought Allah will sweep you out of existence if you don't commit sin. Christian Prince, actually, each time I spit, I am committing sin. Explain to me, please. Because I'm lying. You got a point there. Exactly. So I'm saying to you, each time I spit, I am really committing sin. And this is why Allah will sweep you and Allah will keep me. James Bond Zakir Naik, you did win the debate. Alhamdulillah, Christian Prince, he admitted from his mouth that I won the debate. Thank you. I'm going to record it. I'm going to put it in Take and Talk. Like, don't post it in Take and Talk. Stay with us. Don't go now. There's a Muslim trying to call us. Hold on. Call me coward. I smell fart. Call me coward. Hello? Nobody hear you. The microphone, the speaker is a mute. He's playing for me a sound of a donkey. Nobody heard you. You know, I have a feeling that you are a fart. Who is a Muhammadan would like to call me? Anyone? I mean, look how childless they are. I mean, you are calling me to play an audio of a donkey? Hold on. That solved the problem. You're a prophet who asked his donkey a very serious question. He asked him, do you like females? Why you don't play that to me? A man speaking to a donkey, let us say for the sake of argument, is true. Muhammad first time speaking to a donkey, he asked him if he liked females. Your prophet is getting right away to the topic, to sex. I mean, even when he speaks to donkeys, he's talking about sex. And then the donkey, he said, no, I don't like females. A donkey and he's a gay? What's up? Do we have any Muhammadan would like to call us? Anyone? Who is a brave Muhammadan? If you know our Sheikh, if you know all those, you know, who make YouTube, they claim that they have answers, you know. They are so, you know, Christian Prince, I'm going to get you busted, okay? Yeah. You get me busted by talking to yourself. What about you talk to me? Who dare? Show me the hadith. I have a cartoon about it. Somebody can post it for you, maybe. I made a cartoon about it. You better guys download it and share it. I don't even have the video. Anyone? Who is a Muhammadan? This guy is calling us again. Yes. This is you. This is a different person. Sorry. Hello?
Oh, it's still me. Hello, Christian Prince. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I just wanted to add to the commentary that you had about Allah being faithful and unfaithful. So,
yeah.
Do you know why Allah is... he used to be faithful. You know why he became unfaithful? Because of the Jews.
Yeah, explain to us. What do you mean? Why he became unfaithful?
You know, I feel always the Muslims, they have to blame something on something.
Okay. So let us blame the Jews. You're okay. Yeah.
Let's blame the Jews. Let's blame the Jews. You know, even I shared one of your videos with one of my friends, and he told me, "Oh, you know, Christian Prince, he's known to lie on YouTube. He's known to lie." And he said one of the hadith that's contradictory to what you say on Islam.com. They always post these things.
Which one?
They said,
which hadith?
Which one was it? It was for I don't remember. I think it was about the lizard.
Yeah, what about it?
Hit the lizard. If you hit the lizard, they said that this is because Christian Prince is corrupted by the Jews and he's paid by the Jews. And now when they hear this, the Christian Prince has no credibility, so they stop listening.
You know, but you see here again, we are talking about unfaithful, and if the Muslim, they believe that everything is destiny, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if I am unfaithful and I am a liar, as they say, well, they can blame me because it's destiny. The stupid Allah, he decided that
he wrote it.
So all their logic is stupid. I mean, even when you commit sin, even if you have sex with somebody, even if when you rape, even when you kill, it was a destiny. So if they are even in this one, Allah is giving them a big nail.
The problem is they don't have a refutation. For example, Aisha, when she was married at 6, they have no refutation. You can't refute it. Oh, maybe she was 16.
First of all, my friend, Aisha, she did not marry at 6. Okay? Aisha, she was mature at the age of 4, and according to some reference, she was mature at the age of 4, and she used to have 4 breasts because she is hot. And once she took Prophet Muhammad, who was very naive. She, at that time, this is a long time ago, hold on. She got a watch from Japan. They were new, like the watch you click and they have a light. So she told Prophet of Allah, I will take you to the private room and we have to close the curtain, okay? Because I want to show you this watch work. So in the room, Prophet of Allah Muhammad is very naive. He have no idea what's going to happen. She took him to his private room. She closed the door, and the excuse is to show him the watch. She closed the curtain. And when she closed the curtain, she jumped on him. And Prophet of Allah was a victim of Aisha, not the opposite as those kuffar Christians they claim, because Aisha at the age of 4, according to Muhammadan, she was dating somebody before the Prophet.
She overpowered him.
No, she was engaged. According to Muslims, I'm serious.
True.
They say according to the resort, they say that Aisha at the age of 4 she was engaged.
Yes. And
she's very hot.
She wanted to overthrow him.
Yeah.
She overtook him.
She's very hot. Anyway, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Christian Prince.
Yeah,
Thank you,
let us just receive calls from Muslims, please, so we can have some halal fun. Do we have any Muslim wanna call us and wanna have halal fun with us? The Prophet says, none of you should flag his wife as he flagged his slave, and then have sexual intercourse with her. Look at the decent teaching. Don't flag her like a slave, flag her less, which means he approved flagging both. But don't flag her like a... Look at this, man. Allah is faithful. If you are a female, Allah is faithful for you. He ordered the man to beat you, to fix you up. In different hadith, actually, Muhammad, he said, let me see if I can find this hadith. What a crazy... Yeah, I mean, this is the same anyway. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to call us? May they? Who dare to call me? May they? Who dare to hear me? May they? Who dare to refute me? Muslims are people who, they say we need reference, and then we show them the reference. And what they do when we show them the reference? You know what they do? I will teach you what they do. Okay, TP. Show me the sanad. What the heck? What does that mean? It means the proof. Okay, so are you asking me to show you the proof? I thought you Muslims is the one who provide the proof. It's in your books. TP. First of all, if you read that hadith with me, it says, as an example, this hadith reported by Harun, the son of Abdullah, and reported from Usama, Abu Usama. And Abu Usama, he said, Al-Walid said, the son of Kathir. And the son of Kathir said that Muhammad bin Ukab al-Qurudi, he said, from Ubaid, from Ibn Abdullah ibn Abdul Rahman ibn Rafi', from Abu Sa'id al-Khudari. Here, CP, you'll notice that when Sisi reported to Fifi, and Fifi, she informed Mimi, she told what Kuku say. And Kuku, he carried that from Dudu. However, all of us, we knew that Kuku used to do Kuku around the bushes, and he is not faithful. Therefore, this hadith is bad. Abdul, here it says it is Hassan, which means good. Yes, the hadith is Hassan, but it's mean bad. But Hassan mean good. Yes, it is good, but it's bad. Okay, isn't it one of the grandsons of your prophet? His name is Hassan? Al-Hassan al-Hussein, which means the good. So how the good is bad? Okay, TP. We Muslim, when we say good, we mean bad. Oh, I got the point. So Susu, he told Kuku, and Kuku told Susu Dudu, and Dudu told the Bududu, and then everybody knows that Dudu, he have a, he have a file with the police. And this is how they refute you. Very easy, very simple. Shish kebab is gone, you know? Yeah. The easiest way to refute anything. Hummus, a hummus religion. So when the prophet, he jumped with the water, have dead dogs, he was faithful to Allah to be clean. Look how the whole family is faithful. Allah is faithful for Muhammad. And because he is faithful, he told his prophet to jump in the water, have dead dogs, and women of blood from period, and the water is a stink, and garbage thrown in it. I mean, do you see how much Muhammad is a duck? Honestly, Muhammad is a duck. He cannot resist the water. So Muhammad the duck, he saw a water full of dead dogs, women of blood from period, and garbage thrown in it. And because he's a duck, what you can say, a duck, she have to jump in the water. It doesn't matter what kind of water. So the duck Muhammad, he ducked himself in the jacuzzi, full of dogs, which is dead dogs, and women of blood from period. And the funny, Muhammad, he says that dogs are filthy. If a dog, he touch your dish, you have to wash it 7 times. 7 times? 7 times? Are you sure? 7 times. So he touch your dish, you wash it 7 times. Then you jump in the water, have dead dogs in it. Any Muhammadan? Do we have any Muhammadan have anything to say? Mayday, mayday, mayday. Any Muhammadan who is a Muhammadan is willing to call his sheikh right now. We will have a nice discussion together, and people either will laugh at me or they will laugh at Allah. I don't want people to laugh at the sheikh. This is not my target. You don't mean nothing for me. Anyone? Any Muhammadan? Do we have any Muhammadan? Like a half Muhammadan. You know, sometimes I feel like I am a guy, he is sitting in the street begging people for like a sandwich. Like, come on, Muhammadan. Huh? Here we have a Muhammadan. Let me show you what the Muhammadan, how they can refute us. That should show you how desperate they are. What if I show you that this is in your religion, you stupid idiot? Do you want to call me and challenge me? What if I show you that your prophet, he followed this book and he practiced this book in front of everybody? Do you dare? You know, in the Bible, he must marry the young women, for he has violated her. Do you want, go right now, search in Google. In Islamic religion, not only you marry a woman, you violated her, a woman, you raped her. You raped her, you marry her. Search right now, Morocco, Tunisia, Libya, Syria, Iraq, Islam. So they come, they are like, like the zzz, I have a fly, zzz, I have a fly. Zzz. The fly, she think if she speak negative about us, she refuted us. We laugh. You are just a stupid idiot. And now I have a challenge for you as long as you mention this. What is the penalty of rape in the Quran? Open a challenge to all the Muhammadan. What is the penalty of rape? Have you ever heard of a book speak about Suleiman? He died in the chair, standing for a year. Nobody noticed. And the termite, they ate his steak. But he forgot to make one verse about rape. What is the penalty of rape? Search Google. A Muslim woman, she was in the desert. She begged a Muslim for food and water because she's dying. The Abdul, because he is decent following Allah, he says, I'm not going to give you anything unless you take off your panty and let me do boom boom to you. The woman, she went to Umar ibn Khattab, the caliphate, to report the rape because he raped her. She's dying. Umar, he says, oh, this is your mahar, this is your dowry. Oh boy. Stop lying, call me and prove it, potato, otherwise I will block you. Call me, as long I'm lying, as long I'm lying, that is a good thing for you, because all what you need to do, you call me, and tell the people my lie. Guys, is that fair? Live on air. If you don't dare to call and tell me how I did lie, then you are the one is lying. You know, they say to you, you are lying. Like, okay, what is my lie? I will not tell you. Like, Abdul, listen, come on. I did lie. Where I did lie? Where? What I said? What exactly? Oh, you did lie. Where? Hey, you did lie. Okay, but just call me and tell me. First of all, I will not tell you what you lie because I want to make you keep saying this lie again and again, and we laugh at you. Ah, I thought you want to get me busted. No, we will not get you busted because you know, like what the heck? That is the explanation. You know that you know the thing. So who is here? A Muhammadan. He have a brain. For sure, if you are Joe Biden, you don't call me. Anyone who dare? Who dare? Who dare? Who? Do you? Who dare? And listen, do you know what Allah will reward you if you call me and get me busted? Even if you don't get me busted, Allah will increase the size of your penis. Look at your penis now. Horrible. I mean, come on. Don't you want to fix it? Egypt is a country, one of the most poorest country in the world. And they spend billions of dollars buying Viagra. I mean, they spend money on Viagra more than bread. Look like Viagra is their bread, and I'm a Muslim. This is the same guy who played for me the audio of a donkey. Quran, the Prophet talking. Do we have any Muhammadan? Anyone?
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
You speak Arabic, my friend? He's playing donkey again. Well, it's very funny. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi, and then you play a donkey. So you put the name of Allah next to the donkey sound. Perfect. You just said Allah, you idiot, and then you play the sound of the donkey. But as long as you mention the word donkey, let me show you a verse in the Quran so people will laugh at the stupidity of your God. According to your Quran, who is teaching wisdom, that the most voice Allah he hate is the voice of a donkey. Read with me and die laughing. And be moderate in the peace and lower the voice. For the harshest of sounds without doubt is the bearing of an ass. This is the wisdom. And here supposedly they are talking about Allah, he inspired a wise man. And this wise man, his name is Luqman. And this Luqman, he was telling his son what Allah told him. So my son, don't do this and don't do that and don't speak loud. So why you Muslim, you shout Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, why you shout a donkey? Takbir, what is that? And the funny is, the Quran keeps saying, don't you see that Allah, he did this and that? No, we did not see. Any Muslim can tell us how in the world we saw what Allah did? Anything in the Quran, anything is exists around us, the Quran says, don't you see, don't you see, don't you see, don't you see? Okay, did you see Muhammad going to seventh heaven? No. Did you see Muhammad receiving Quran? No. Did you see Muhammad being squeezed by angel? No. So what do we see? In chapter 24, verse number 43, Allah, he says, don't you see that Allah, he sent ice from mountains in heaven? And the Muslims, in order to fix it, they lie. Look what he says. And he sent down from the sky mountain masses between two brackets a cloud. What a big fat liars. Change the translator. Anyone who speaks Arabic, he can see it. Allah, he sent ice. Muhammad is explaining the ice. Come on, Muhammad is a genius. He want to explain how ice happened. Okay, how ice came to existence. There is a mountain in the sky where hail is taken from that mountain, and Allah, he throw it down in the earth. Science. Chapter 24, verse number 43, from the unfaithful God Allah and the unfaithful Prophet Muhammad, who he did cheat in his wife. Even his wives, he was cheating on them. The Gospel of Judas, what is that? The Gospel of Judah. Okay, the Gospel of Judah. All right. The Gospel of Judah. Who is a Muhammadan? You know, even when the Muhammadan, they speak about the gospel and they attack the gospel and suppose they are smart. But how you can be smart and you are following a stupid God? Let me show you what your God Allah said about the gospel. If you ask the Muslims, who Jesus was sent to who? He will say he was sent to the Jews. Only Prophet of Allah was sent to all mankind. Isa was sent to the Jews. So you stupid. How Allah, he called the book of Jesus by a Greek name? Injil. So Jesus was sent to the Jews and his book is called Injil. Why his people, they are Greek? It looked like Jesus, he did not go to Israel. He was in Thessaloniki. This is why the book is called Injil. Call me if you are a man. The same idiot. But we will give it a try, no problem. We mute their voice so they don't bother us if they are the kids. So, if Allah is sending a book to Isa, why Isa, his book name is Injil? Anyone can tell us? Anyone? Nobody? Injil is a Greek word. How come Allah, he do not have, he never heard of a gospel except the Greek one? See, the stupid Quran says, that the Quran is confirming the book with us. And then you will find the stupid Abdul, they keep saying to us the Bible is corrupted. But the Quran is saying confirming the book with you. Look at the translation just to show you how the Muhammadan they lie. A book confirming what went before it. This is not what the verse is saying. It says, مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ, confirming, believing in what is between his hands. And there's a huge difference between a book came before it and between his hands book. This is why to know the truth about Islam, it's a very serious matter to know Arabic very well, because they lie. You can take right now, without changing the translation, you can take this sentence, put it in Google Translation, and you will see it's saying believing, accepting what is between his hand. But we go here in the translation, it doesn't say that. Do you think the translator, he made a mistake when he did that? No, he did not make it as a mistake. He did it on purpose, because now if they are saying that the Quran confirmed the scriptures which is between our hands, that is a problem. How we can go around and say to the Christians that your book is corrupted? As you see, we are changing translator one after one. All of them, they are saying the same lie, confirming what preceded. But I can do a very easy trick. I will open Google Translation in the front of your eyes, and you can do the same too. And you can copy the whole verse as it is. I will copy, and now I will take it to Google Translation. This is the Arabic, and I will paste in the front of your eyes. And this is the translation. I think Google is confused. Let us do this. It's copying the Muslim translation. Let us do this. Copy this sentence here. And instead of the whole thing, I think Google is just searching for translation and finding. See, the Google translation is showing believing what was before it. I will take this out and I will leave the word hands. Aha! So Google is copying the Muslim translation. But when we take the sentence, we leave only the word hands there. The word hand appear right away. Yadayhi, his two hands. Do you see it? Never trust an Islamic translation. Never. If the Quran says between his hands, why you don't use the word between his hands? Why you take it off? What is the problem exactly? Every single translation I'm flipping now, it just says confirming what came before it. There's no hands at all. The word hand disappear totally. Actually, I will try this and see if that will work. I don't know. I will translate the whole page into English. It didn't work. Detect the language. Choose another language. Okay, Arabic. Translate. Make it Arabic. Okay, choose another language. English. Yeah, it's not working for some reason. It's just not just working. It's not working. But anyway, you can go to the dictionary right now and you can see the word yed. You know, if I type the word yed here, you remember the verse where it says Yadullah? The Jews, they say that the hands of Allah are tied up. وقالت اليهود يد الله مغلولة. You see the word yad? The hands. Translate. See? And the same verse, the same word in the other verse. Okay. True story. Yeah. Do we have any Muhammadan? Hello? Yes, my friend, you are talking to Christian Prince.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm fine. So you are a Muslim, my friend?
Well, I watched a couple of your videos about 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I left it.
Oh,
Problem is I converted a bunch of people, and I don't know what to do about that.
Well, let them talk to me then. You can send them. You can ask them to come and talk to me, and I will be happy to talk to them.
All right, great. Well, I appreciate that. There was a guy from Yemen,
yeah,
and he was the imam at the mosque near me.
All right.
And I met him through a friend in college, and I used to go to his house every night for like almost a year. We would talk all night about Islam, and he was very knowledgeable about it as far as you know, being able to teach it. But he lied. He lied about everything, and so like these Muslim these imams and teachers and people that spread Islam, what they do is, and you know this, they tell you just what you need to know to entice you, and then they don't, all the embarrassing things, they don't talk about it. You know what I mean? So like my life is 18 years of my life. I'll never get them back, CP. I mean, like so it's like it destroys lives. And I mean, I even remember my stepdaughter when she was like 10 years old. I took her to the mosque, and one of the one of the women there was telling her asking her, how old are you? And she's like, I'm 10 years old. You know, this was in the parking lot. I was there. And she said, oh, you're ready to get married. And I was like, what? And then like later on, we went back to the house, you know, after we were there for Juma, we went back to the house, and I said to her, what's this thing with the woman asking you or telling you that you're ready for marriage? How do you feel about that? And she's like, oh, you know, I guess it's okay, you know, because Aisha was young when she got married to the Prophet. So like this, in our minds, this was like acceptable, you know, that this kind of thinking was okay. You know what I mean? So it distorts and it just ruins the mind of the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you were a Muslim for 18 years, and then you start watching my videos. How many, let us say, how long after watching my videos took you to decide to leave this garbage religion?
I watched the first one. I was like, wow, he's an Arab. That's cool, because like my teacher was an Arab, and I don't know. Because of him, like, you know, his personality, his sense of humor, you know, like his mannerisms, you know, like I really fell in love with Arabs, you know. And so when I was listening to you, I was like, I felt comfortable listening because, you know, I'm used to talking to Arabs, and you know what I mean, relating with Arabs. And so like, first time I watched you, I was like, wow, that's really cool, you know, an Arab, but he's talking about, you know, Islam is not the way. And then I was really interested to hear more, so I watched your second video, and I left it. That was it. After the second video, I was done. My wife came home from work, and I said, "Honey, I'm out of Islam forever. I'm done." You know. And
So 18 years as a Muslim, it took me 2 videos to make you leave Islam.
the first video, I liked you. The second one, I followed you.
All right. What about your wife now? She's still Muslim?
Well, my current wife never was.
Okay.
When I mentioned to you in the message, my wife, I had actually converted my mother, my brother, my wife, her
Wow.
2 kids, and a coworker. And since I left Islam, you know, I called the coworker, and I told her, you know, I left Islam. I'd like to, you know, talk to you about it. And she was working. She said later, you know, whatever. But like, she's actually really like into the religion like a lot. So
yeah, but
I don't know.
Islam is not a religion. Islam is a garbage gang. You know, Islam is based on lying, contradiction, stupid ideas, and stupid belief. Even the heaven is stupid. I mean, what kind of religion is promising me endless penis if I believe in it? You know, what is that exactly? You know, and why it have to be endless? I mean, what about 6 foot tall?
Yeah, you know, I really look at Islam as a threat to the world, you know, and you know, it destroyed my life as an individual, distorted my thinking, just skewed my perspective in a really crazy way, and you know, so I mean, it's very destructive to a person, it's destructive to a family, a society. I mean, it's just like the devil, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I wanted to say thank you for doing these videos. I appreciate it. I know you only want Muslims calling you, but I'm only 14 days out. You know?
I'm happy to hear you. But you know what? I want you to bring me those people who you, you know, because I don't want you to feel bad. I mean, because what you did is bad.
Right.
To make people convert to such a garbage religion is bad. So let us fix it. All what I'm asking you for, just to bring them, they can call me, you know. As you see, I go like almost every day. I mean, I go live and I open my Skype and people, they can call me. The same, you just text me. I mean, everybody can text, right? And you can text me and you can say, oh, I have my, you know, my ex-wife here, or, you know, whatever, you know, who here would like to talk to you and ask you questions. And I will talk to them nicely, and we will try to help them.
Okay, that'd be really, really great.
All right.
Do you think at this point, after leaving like 2 weeks ago, that I can maybe throw away the bottle of water next to my toilet?
All right. Well, I want to ask you then. So now you left Islam. So did you accept Christ again, or you don't have a belief?
I started going to a Catholic church.
Okay.
I went one time, and you know, so yeah.
You see, it's not important if you go to Catholic or Orthodox. This is not really what I care for. What will save us is believing in Christ, not in a church name. So you need, this is my opinion for sure, it's up to you to accept or not. If you want to be saved, you need Christ to save you, not a church name. Me, myself, I don't care if people go to Catholic Church or Protestant or Orthodox. What I care for is, if I believe in Savior, his name is the Messiah, he is God's Son, and he is our Lord, and he is going to come in the judgment day, and he is going to send those who deserve to be in his kingdom to his kingdom, and those who deserve to go to hell. And there is no other Savior except the Messiah. So this is what you should accept, not a church or a priest, you know? So what do you think about accepting the Messiah as your Savior?
Well, here's the thing. You know, as someone that believes in God and believes in, you know, the Torah and believes in the Bible, I still believe that. There's the only, and I believe in Jesus, you know, that he was born of a Virgin Mary. I believe that he raised the dead. You know, I believe that he died on the cross now, and that he resurrected. So I believe that now, because it's the only thing that makes sense. I can't just I can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, when I think about it, I'm just sort of cornered into like, you know, you have to accept this because this is true. You know what I mean? God is a triune God. and his son is Jesus, and he died for your sins, and I have to accept that. So, you know, I've prayed to Jesus, and I've asked him, you know, to guide me and to put this disgusting filth out of my head, and, you know, stop doing evil and start doing good. So hopefully, you know, I'm headed in the right direction. But yes, I do testify that Jesus is the Messiah. He was foretold in the Old Testament by the prophets. He came, he did all the miracles, he gave a good teaching, the good news of the gospel. He was crucified, he died, he was buried, he rose from the dead, he's alive today. And I believe that. I really do.
I mean, my friend, very good news, and I'm happy for you, and I hope soon we will hear more good news about people around you who have been deceived, the same as they deceive you. You know, you were a victim of their lies, you know, and they were victims because you believe their lies. You know, I mean, there was people who, around you who you made them think of Islam to be a good belief. So let us work together. Bring me those people, and let us expose this cult. Actually, it's not even a cult. It's just a collection of garbage. You know. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for my friend for calling. If there's anything else you want to say before you go?
You know, I just wanted to tell you, you know, that, you know, I speak for myself and probably thousands of people that are listening to you that are Muslims. You know, like, you're really doing a great service, and I hope that God rewards you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. My reward is to see people like you and others being saved, and you know, the truth will set them free. Thank you very much. Take care.
Okay.
God bless.
God bless.
Well, we are happy for our friend here. You know, I thought actually he was joking. You know, when he sent me this message, he said, "This is a Christian Prince in YouTube. I converted to Islam 18 years ago. I converted my mother, my wife, 2 stepdaughters, my brother, and co-worker." You see how deception works? And you know, when people, they wake up, it might take them some time. Usually the average of people who leave Islam after converting, 2 years, 3 years. Some, it take them really long. There's a person, I forgot his name. He opened a channel, it's called Don't Convert to Islam. His name is, he called himself Ishmael. Brother Ishmael. This guy, I made videos refuting him long time ago when he was a Muslim. This guy, he studied Arabic. He went to Saudi Arabia, I think, and he studied very well, and he speaks Arabic now very well. After he learned Arabic very well, he decided to leave Islam because he noticed that everything they told him, it was a joke. Everything they said to him, it was a lie. And those who you lie to them, Muslims, they will become enemy number 1 of Islam because you did hurt them. Like this gentleman here, you made him lose 18 years of his life believing in garbage. He was 18 years old. However, we will be happy to save the rest of his family, and he, you know, he is the first one to be saved. Glory to the Lord. And I'm not the one who's, you know, help you, my friend. I'm just, you know, let us say, sharing my knowledge in a truthful way. And those who want to accept, they accept. The one who can save, only Christ. I'm here just doing what I should do. Do we have any Muslim would like to call? Maybe you can bring him back to Islam. Who is a Muslim want to call us and get us busted? So our friend here, Abdul Rahman, as his was maybe his previous name as a Muslim, not anymore, I believe. You know, you can bring him back to Islam. Who call me and tell him how he will get the virgins. You know, okay. Just to show you. How trashy this religion. This guy now is upset because this gentleman, he left Islam and he became a Christian. So look now what he is saying. Look what he is saying, this Abdul. So he prays to a man who prays to God, and his mother now in a church with statues and bishop who molest kids. You stupid, he just told you he took his stepdaughter to the mosque and they told her you are ready for marriage. This is not a molestation, this is a rape. And as long as you are talking about molesting a kid, I challenge you to put for me the age of the kids who they are molested, because your prophet, he raped them and he made all Muslim rape kids as a practice until now. Secondly, for us, anyone who do molested children, he is following the step of your prophet. Jesus says, those who hurt the little one, it's better for them to put a milestone in their neck and throw themselves in the deep ocean. What your prophet says? Those who rape the little one, he will sport with them, he will enjoy them, and they will enjoy you. Secondly, you pray to a man who pray to God. First of all, no. We Christian, we believe that Jesus, he spoke to the Father. So when he says, my Father. So the Son is speaking to the Father. But the question here now is going to be raised for you. Coward. When Allah he prayed to who? Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Allah and his angels praying to the Prophet. Mimi Hijab, he says, okay, this is why the translator is saying pray for, not to. So the Messiah, he speak to the Father. And he say, the same as I glorify my Father glorify me. God don't glorify man. He glorify no man. Or glory only to God. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. And the Muslims, they try to fix it. They say Allah, he sent salat. Between two brackets, grace, honor, blessing, mercy. Salat suddenly became honor. Salat. Hey Muslim, where are you going? I'm going to do the salat. What salat mean? To pray. In which language the word salat became a grace and mercy? And look at the double standard. So the Christian, they will say, well, Jesus, he was praying to his Father, to God, the Father. But they use the word God only. Okay, what is the word Jesus was doing? What is the practice? They say salat. Allah is making salat to who? Oh, he's sending the blessing to Muhammad. Okay, I will go with this, just for the sake of fun. It says here, and also his angels. So Allah, he sent mercy and honor and blessing and etc. And then the angels, they do that too. Between two brackets, they ask Allah to bless him of forgiveness. Do you see the stupidity? Do you see the lies? They add things to fix things. We change the translator. Allah, he prayed for, not to. For us, we believe in the Trinity, so there's no problem. Christ the Son, he prayed to the Father. Your God, Allah, have a son? No. Okay, do he have a father? You say no. So he prayed to who? Allah and his angels. Look how the difference between this translation and the other translation. The word salah is gone. Allah and his angels, not also his angels, ask Allah as the other translation. They ask Allah to send salat. Lie. It says Allah and his angels. They pray on Muhammad. And not only that, oh, you believe, pray on Muhammad too. Not send the blessing. Liars. So look what happened. Muhammad and Islam become the God. Because the whole universe is busy doing one thing. Praying on Muhammad. The God, the angels, and the people. Muhammad, because he is evil, he is Satan. He wanted to become the center of the whole universe. So what Muhammad did here is very simple. Well, there is God. His name is Allah. And there is a angels, his name is Jibril. Okay. And there is people. I saw actually a woman, she left Islam, she is using my drawing. This is Muhammad in the middle. This is Allah. This is Jibril. Mr. J. And all the angels behind him, plus A. All the angels. And then there's the people of Pakistan, the people of India, the Muslims for sure, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, I mean, you name it. From around the world, all of them is making a prayer on Muhammad. Muhammad become the center. The whole universe is busy now. Even in their stupid translation, they say they are sending blessings. So the whole world now busy sending blessing to Muhammad. Muhammad is dead. And what this is about, we send the blessing to him now. What is that for? And if Allah, he blessed him, why you are asking Allah to bless him? What a stupid religion. If God, he blessed me, I'm blessed. That's it. Send more blessing. Is that by kilos? I mean, even when they try to fix it and they try to lie in the translation, they say they are asking to send more blessing. But if Allah, he blessed him already, what may more blessing mean? Do we receive a blessing by kilograms? More blessing, what does that mean? The guy is even dead. The word is salah. And then we find in different verse, Allah asking other God, his name is Allah, to forgive the sin of Muhammad. The child molester Muhammad. And Allah may forgive thee. And look at the translation, fault. In Arabic here it says ذنب. ليغفر لك الله ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر. Change the translator. Surprise, surprise. It is not fault. There's a huge difference between fault and sin. Huge difference. Fault is something you do by error and you don't mean it. Sin is something you know it's against God. So may Allah forgive your sin. Unfaithful God, he promised the Muslims to forgive their sin, but Allah is asking other Allah to forgive your sin. Now if we ask any Muhammadan, do Allah need to ask other Allah? Anyone? Any Muhammadan? Jesus, he said to the one who cannot walk, he said to him, your sin is forgiven. The Jews in their mind, and Jesus was reading their mind, did not even say a word. He did read their mind, and he said, well, which one is easier to say? Go and your sin is forgiven, or go and walk? The guy, he cannot walk. Allah, he said to Muhammad, read. Muhammad still cannot read. Allah, he said that 3 times. Muhammad still cannot read. He squeezed him 3 times, still he cannot read. Jesus, he said to the one who cannot walk, walk. The guy, he carry his bed and walk. In the top of that, he said, go and your sin is forgiven. In different verses in the Quran, we will find that the stupid Quran saying, who else beside Allah can forgive sin? If there is anyone else? Muslims, if there is anyone beside Allah forgive sin? All the Quran confirm that Allah is the one who forgives sin. So why Allah is not able to forgive the sin of Muhammad? Why he's saying, may Allah forgive your sin? When the Quran says, no one forgives sin, or let us say, and who forgives sin except Allah? Allah here, Aka Muhammad, he is trying to replace himself. He put himself instead of Allah, to the point Muslim they have to obey him before even obeying Allah. As an example, the Quran says something, Muhammad he says something else. The Muslim don't follow the Quran no more, they follow what Muhammad said. In chapter 3, verse number 135, it says, who forgives sin other than Allah? If there is anyone? The Muslim, the Muhammadan, they say no. Only Allah can forgive sin. And none can forgive sin but Allah. And the Muslim, they say to you, where Jesus says, God, worship me. Secondly, the unfaithful Allah. You see, the Muslim, they insert things between 2 brackets which does not exist in the verse. So here it says, and also when they have committed fahisha, you know, between 2 brackets, they say fahisha is illegal sexual intercourse, etc. Okay, why need to be forgiven if somebody commit fornication? Why need to be forgiven if Allah in the Quran and Allah according to Muhammad, when somebody commits sin, Allah he forced him to commit sin and fornication. So why he need to ask for forgiveness? Why you want to forgive him if it's you who made him did it or do it? If we go to the stupid Muhammad, we will find the following. According to this garbage religion, every sin you do, including fornication, including cheating, sleeping around, including raping, including, I cannot say child molestation because it's not sin in Islam, or child rape. Just do it legally according to Muslim, you are fine. But let's say you did not do it in the legal way according to the Islamic filthy system. According to Muhammad, everything you do, it's a destiny by Allah. So why those people need to ask for forgiveness? And that will take us back to 0. When we say to the Muhammadan, is Allah is faithful? The Muhammadan who called me, the first caller, he said yes. I asked him, do Allah want you to commit sin? He said no. But the reality is, not only Allah wants you to commit sin, he forces you to commit sin. According to this stupid religion, every sin you do is a destiny. You did not choose to do it. So why I need to ask for forgiveness if I did not have a choice to do it or not? Any Muhammadan? Why anyone, he need to ask for forgiveness? Look at this. It's in front of you. Muhammad, he said, by him, whose hand is my life, if you were not to commit sin, Allah will sweep you out of existence. Okay, we got that. And he will replace you. Wonderful. So you are exist because you commit sin. Otherwise, Allah will destroy us. Allah, he wants fornicators. Right? Tirmidhi, he's smart, you know, he don't dare to answer anything we are showing on the screen, so he tries supposedly to change the topic. But let us go with his topic, or let us say go with his logic, so we can laugh a little bit. This is a Muhammadan. He is trying to be smart and think, you know, the Muslims, they think if they speak about other things, they can avoid the massacre we are doing to Muhammad. We are chopping him pieces. So look what he said. What is death? To eternal God. If your God were actually eternal God, then his sacrifice on the cross would have meant nothing. Don't you see how logical it is for God to die? I will go with you. But you just got your prophet busted and you gave your prophet a finger. Because you just said, if God is eternal, then God should not die. But according to Islam, Jesus is still alive. Muhammad is dead. Moses is dead. Abraham is dead. Adam is dead. Everybody is dead except Jesus. So the stupid you just gave the middle finger to your prophet. For the one, according to your logic, who is eternal God, he should not die. Well, Jesus is alive. Secondly, who said to you that we Christian, we believe in a dead God? You stupid Muslim, now you are waiting for the Messiah to come. This is number one. Number two, we Christian, we believe that the Messiah was, there's a resurrection. Do you know what resurrection mean? Resurrection mean that the flesh is reunited with the spirit. And just to make it simple for you, potato, Jesus before was born from Mary was exist. This is why Jesus said, before Abraham I am. So when they killed the flesh, God is still alive. It's just a flesh. Do you see how stupid you are? So you are an ignorant. You do not know what Christianity, even your God, you do not know even what is the Trinity is. Your stupid God, he thinks the Trinity is Mary and Jesus, and the God, he married Mary and they have a son. This is why your stupid God in the Quran, he says, how God can have a son if you don't have a girlfriend? I mean, have you ever heard of a stupid God like this? He's refuting the Christian, saying how he can have a son if you don't have a girlfriend. Since when we Christian, we believe that God have a son because he have a girlfriend? So your stupid God said the following in the Quran, chapter 6, verse number, oh, hold on, verse 101. He is the originator of the heaven and the earth. Okay, Allah, he is saying he is. Okay, let that go. How can he have a children when he has no wife? Lie. It doesn't say wife, it says a girlfriend. Consort, girlfriend. But look what your stupid God said. All of you Muslims, you share the same stupid logic with your religion. Your God is asking how God can have a son if you don't have a girlfriend. So how your God can be God? The God of Mary, he made Mary deliver a son without a boyfriend. The God of Muhammad himself is speaking, and this is not interpretation, and this is not a hadith. Himself is saying, how can I have a son if you don't have a girlfriend? So, and the funny, the Muslims, they say, we worship a man. Well, your God is a man. Because this is what men say. If somebody asks me, Christian Prince, how many kids you have? I will say, well, how I'm going to have kids, you idiot, if I don't have wife? So I am limited with the ability. I cannot have children without a woman. That's what your God's saying. And when you say, how can he have a children? Well, then how can he be God? Because nothing is impossible to God. Are we following people? That's what the Bible says. Nothing is impossible to God. Here we go. This is impossible for Allah. How can he have a son if he don't have a girlfriend? In the same time, the verse after it says Allah is the creator of all things. Well, isn't it the stupid Quran says that Jesus created from the mother bird? So how Allah is the creator of everything? Isn't it the Quran says Allah is the best of the creators? And now Mr. Tim, why you don't call me? Hey guys, do you think Tim he'd have the courage to call me? As long you can answer and you think you have something to say, will call us so we laugh. Read again. He's trying to fix it because he gave a finger to Allah. I am stupid. Okay, if your God never died, then who said that Jesus did not die? We did not say that. We said, when we say that, we say the flesh, Jesus said, you can destroy this temple and I can rebuild it in 3 days. He's talking about his body. Destroy the flesh. So when we say that our Lord the Messiah, he died, we are talking about the flesh of the Messiah. And the sacrifice of Jesus, that he gave himself, he humbled himself, he come to this earth, he took your humiliation, people calling him names, people want to kill him, and they did. That is a sacrifice. And if you are against sacrifice, you coward, then how Allah himself he sacrifice? You see, the Muslims, they say, if we ask this guy, the Muhammadan, they say, well, if the son he sacrificed himself, did the son sacrifice himself to God? God sacrificed himself to God? God give sacrifice to himself? That's what they say to you. We go in the stupid Quran, we will find this. Allah himself, he gave a sacrifice. Great sacrifice. The Messiah is not sacrificing himself to the Father. That's a lie. The Messiah is sacrificing himself for us. The Father do not need sacrifice. But then we will find that Allah himself, he made a sacrifice. It says in the Quran, فَفَدَيْنَاهُ بِذَبْحٍ عَظِيمٍ. So Allah, he gave a sacrifice, a great ram, to sacrifice Isaac, to ransom Isaac. Read it. This is the Quran. Here we ask ourselves, okay, as long as you're Muslim, you say, how in the world God, he sacrificed to God? I'm asking you now, Allah sacrificing to who? See, I'm not the one who is using the word sacrifice. I am not the one who is saying those words. This is your Quran. Allah, he sends a sacrifice. To who? Any Muhammadan can answer us? Any Muhammadan can tell us, Allah making sacrifice to who? My friend Knight Templar. People, please do me a favor. Don't put my name next to something unless it is you want me to see it and it's important. Just don't do that. Any Muhammadan? Kayla, we have a topic. Who care about this Samsi? What's wrong with people? Don't force me to block you. Don't repeat the same text over and over. We have a topic, my friend. Who do care about this CC, Samsi, and Sarsi? Any Muslim can answer us. Allah, he gave a sacrifice. He gave it sacrifice to who? Huh? You lied from the beginning. Turd in Arabic, the correct term of that religion, that the hadith Sahih al-Bukhari interpretation, dream was God, letter Q chapter, remind from the Quran. Anybody can understand what this guy is saying? Somebody tell me what this guy is saying. I don't know what. I don't understand the word. Are you talking to me, my friend? And what are you saying? I have no idea. What is this? God means toured? What toured? What is that toured? Lord have mercy. Any Muhammadan can answer us. The Muslims, they are so disappointed that because they have a stupid prophet and they cannot fix it, God, he gave sacrifice himself. Okay, sacrificing to who? Then, well, Jesus, he suffered. Okay, well, why he have to suffer? Who said that he have to? Nowhere in the Bible says he have to. But because God, he loved the world, he sent his only begotten son to save us. So God, he did not, God the Father did not send God the Son to suffer. He sent him to save us. Who is going to answer? So look what we learned. That the God of Islam, he gives sacrifice. And here the stupid Muhammad is just because he's a fool. He's copying a story from the Old Testament, adding some spice. And the more spice he adds, the more we laugh. And now they are in trouble. God giving sacrifice to God. And you know, the funny is, it's not me who is saying the word sacrifice. I'm not the one who is replacing a word. This is what the word is. And even the sacrifice is a great sacrifice. How in the world a ram is a great sacrifice? How it is a ram and it's a great? Any Muhammadan? How it is a ram and it is a great sacrifice? Why this ram is a great? I want to know why it's called a great. The word in Arabic actually, it's Azim, one of the names of Allah. So how the ram carry the name of Allah if it's a ram? By the way, the Quran never say it's a ram. Any Muhammadan would like to join us live so he can show us his knowledge and his skills, how he can play with the Quran so he can defend the Quran? Any brave Muhammadan? Who is a Muhammadan would like to give us a call and show us how good Allah is? As you see, we are proving here that Allah is untruthful. Allah is a liar. Allah, he lied to you. Everything in this religion based on Allah lying to you. And the Quran confirmed that, and the Hadith confirmed that. You have unfaithful God. Anyone? Yeah, but I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, the word toward means, what does that mean? I have no idea. People, they say things in the chat sometimes weird. Any Muhammadan would like to call us? Mayday, mayday. As you see, Muslims are leaving Islam left and right. Who want to call us and get us busted? Anyone? Any Muhammadan, my friend. Focus in the topic. Don't ask me questions, none of your business. And don't talk about things nothing to do with our topic. Focus, focus. Who is a Muhammadan would like to call us and give us proof that Allah is a truthful? Allah always lie. As an example, Allah, he told Muhammad that if you have 100 faithful people, they will win against 1,000. The Muslim, they went to war, they lost. They come back to Muhammad, they said to him, didn't you say that 100 can win against 1,000? Muhammad right away, he decided to fix it. He said to them, you know what, Allah, for now he know that you have a weakness, so he decide the following. Read with me carefully. O Prophet, urge the believers to fight. If there is a 20 steadfast person among you, they will overcome 200. So what is the percentage is? 10, they can fight 100. 10, they can fight 100. Okay. They went to war, and the kuffar, they gave them a big finger. They come back. Now Muhammad, he have to cover his ass. So look what he said. Now Allah has lightened your task, for he knows that there is a weakness on you. Look, hold on. So Allah do not know a day before that there's a weakness on them? And now Allah, after he learned that you have a weakness, he will fix it. So he said, okay, listen to me carefully, brother and sister. If 100 of you shall win against 200, so from 1 to 10 to 1 to 2. And faithful God. If Allah is faithful, who care if they are 1 or 1,000? If God is with me, who could be against me? So if God, he promised a man, you will have a victory. Even if you have a war with China and you are alone, he will win. He will win, that's it, because God, he is on your side. This God is unfaithful. Who is going to give victory really? The believers or Allah? And why you care for the numbers? If they are 1, if they are 2, if they are 7, if they are 1,000, if they are 1,000,000, promise them victory, they will have victory. What this adjustment for? Right? Any Muhammadan? And as long we are talking about the Allah, which is unfaithful, that appear in the Quran in many places. As an example, there is something called abrogation. What is abrogation? Allah, he says something in the morning, he changed the afternoon. Have you ever heard of a faithful person? If God, he gave a word, he will keep his word. You don't give an order in the morning, you change the afternoon. Why? You do not know what will happen in the afternoon? This unfaithful God, not only he is a liar, he will make you forget his lie. Read and laugh. Chapter 2, verse 106, it says, whatever lies we give to you, which means verse, do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten? Hold on. Why you gave them a verse, and then second day, you make them forget the verse? This God, not only he is unfaithful, he is a joke. He gave you a verse. And then he go to the office. He said, what the heck I did yesterday? And that's bad. I'm going to change it. I'm going to abrogate it. The same guy, the same day. Sometime even doesn't go to the refrigerator yet. If you go and read the interpretation, this is chapter 2, 106. Read and love. And remember, this is the Muslim interpretation, not our interpretation, because the Muslim, they will say, it doesn't say that, CP. Hey, we go to refute me by saying what? It doesn't say that, CP. Okay, so it's not CP who's saying that. It's you. So this is your book saying that disbelievers, they said, read carefully. Chapter 2, 106, Tafsir Ibn Abbas, the cousin of Muhammad himself. Allah mentioned that what was abrogated in the Quran, which was not abrogated, as direct reference to the claim of Quraysh. Quraysh is the name of the tribe of Muhammad, who said to the Prophet, "Oh Muhammad, why you command us to do something, then you forbid it," saying the opposite. He is the one who commanded them this thing. But how fast Muhammad he changed it. We go to different interpretation to see how fast it is. Read and love. When a disbeliever began to dread the matter of abrogation, saying, one day Muhammad he enjoined his companions one thing, and then the next day he forbid it. Do you see it? Unfaithful God. Second day. It is just second day. It's not a second century. It's not 10 years after. So in the morning, this is Joe Biden. In the morning he says something, afternoon he changed his mind. Is that God? Or this God is unfaithful? But this is what happened. The stupid Muhammad, he says stupid things, saying Allah, he sent him this verse. People laugh at it. He go home, oh boy, what I did, I'm going to change it. Second morning, he says, Allah, he gave me the opposite. Prophet Joe Biden. Who is a Muhammadan want to prove me wrong that Allah is unfaithful? Faithful God will not do this garbage. And you know what? What make it even more stupid, look what the verse is saying. Allah will make you forget it and will make something similar or better. Like what the heck? Better? Allah will make Quran better than the Quran? I want to know who is the donkey is making this statement. How God can make Quran better than the Quran of God? Allah will make Quran better than the Quran? Who is confused here? People, listen to me carefully. This is not my words. This is not my word. In Arabic here it says, ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها نأتي بخير منها أو مثلها. He used even بخير, not only better, like way better. You know? So this God, he just admitted that his previous Quran was not good enough. He will work hard. He will fix the language. He will fix the grammar. He will make it better. And all those Abdul in the chat who they claim they can refute me, I want to hear one of you calling me and tell me how God is making Quran better than the Quran of God. Why Allah he this like what he found? Why Allah he this like what he found in his Quran, the previous Quran? How he will make it better? I want to understand. Christian Prince, he have many books, and he promised his audience, I will write better book in the future. Oh, that makes sense. He's a human. His knowledge increased day by day, supposedly. It's what when you get older, we get wiser, right? Smarter, maybe. Not necessarily everybody. Some people, they turn into donkeys. But this is God. How God is going to make Quran better than the Quran of God? And the funny, the Quran, the Muslims, they say, who can make Quran better, like the Quran of Allah? Can you believe it? Like, can you make Quran like the Quran? And this is the most stupid challenge, by the way. Because if I write now Quran like the Quran, you will say, oh, this Quran is not equal to the Quran. Oh, the Quran of Allah is better. How you know? When Shaitan, he gave satanic verses to Muhammad, Muhammad did not notice that this is the bad Quran. According to the Muhammadan resource, the angel Jibreel, after a few days or a few weeks, he went home to the house of Muhammad. He said to him, Muhammad, Habibi, what you did, Habibi, huh? What you did? Muhammad, he said, what? He said, don't you know that those are satanic verses? So how nobody can make Quran better than the Quran? And Muhammad did not notice that this is coming from Satan. It's not from a human, even Satan. Satan made Quran better than the Quran of Allah, and Muhammad, you took it. He even said it. Anyone? And now, who is a Muslim is going to show me one verse in the Quran was better than the previous verse in the Quran? You see, this stupid religion, if we can call it religion, the second you start asking questions about those things there, you will see how dummy this man. I mean, what? You made Quran better than Quran? And what make it more stupid, he did not stop there. He said, or similar. Look, what the heck? Or similar to it? So why you cause them to forget it if you want to make something similar? Have you ever heard of a donkey like this? He will make, hey, listen, I told you a verse yesterday, okay? I want you to forget about it because I'm going to give you something similar. So if it is similar, why you want to make me forget it? What happened here, Muhammad himself, he forget the Quran. And people, they start laughing at this guy. He don't even remember what he says. So look what he said. Any verse we abrogate or cause to be forgotten. Cause. Why he mentioned the word forgotten? Because Muhammad himself, he cannot repeat the same thing twice. So now, to cover his ass, he claimed that Allah caused him to forget it because he will give him something better or similar. So if I am a prophet and today I'm teaching you something, like let me make verse. Okay. Once I saw a duck and she said to me, good luck. And then a very filthy prophet, his name is Muhammad, he said to me, what is the I'm not going to say the word. Here we go, I made Quran. Second day, I say, guys, I apologize. I'm Allah. I did use the F word there. I'm going to make something better. So I'm going to make, please forget the previous verse. What the heck is that? A duck, she said to me, good luck. A rude prophet, he said to me, what the f... And then now, because I said something stupid, I'm going to cause you to forget it. This is religion? Who can make better than the Quran? Nobody. Do we have any Abdul? Is that what Allah was doing? He was making verses about the duck who said to him, good luck. And then Prophet Muhammad, he said, what is the... And then Allah, he decided to fix it? Because the F word is there? And actually, all the Quran is about the F word. You know, the Muslims, they said, they have tons of verses, videos that refute Christian Prince. Christian Prince, he lied. He said the word nikah mean the F word. Okay, he lied. How? He said the word nikah mean marriage. Are you sure? Yes, we are sure. Okay. Let us see. Lord have mercy. Read this hadith with me and love. If the word nikah means marriage, so what your prophet is saying here? If you read this hadith in English, it says here, the Jews used not to eat with women during menstruation period. So the prophet, he said, do everything else apart from sexual intercourse with your wives, between two brackets. What was the word, this sexual intercourse? Go to the Arabic. It is nikah. Do everything except nikah. So Muhammad saying you do everything with your wife when she have menstruation except nikah. So how you say to us that nikah mean marriage? Liars. She's your wife already. It did lie, CP. And by the way, there is a Bible translation using the word nikah. You stupid idiot. Let us say for the sake of argument, somebody did translate and use the word nikah, but this is stupid translation. There's no Christian church will use such a filthy word. A guy, he is not an Arab who live in Europe. He learned from the Muslim. They told him that the word nikah means marriage, so he was a fool. He trusted you. But as you see, you're a prophet saying, do everything with your wife when they have their menstruation except nikah. Except nikah. And this is Sahih Hadith. As example, this is Sahih Muslim. Isna'u kulla shay illa nikah. Do everything except nikah. Everything do. Except what? Nikah. What nikah mean? We go back to the chapter from the Quran. One day I saw a dog. She said to me, good luck. A rude prophet, faithful prophet, his name is Muhammad. He said to me, what the nikah? Quran. And then they lie to us. They say, nikah does not mean the F word. Any Muhammadan? Do everything except intercourse. What is the word intercourse? Nikah. Oh boy. Any Muhammadan? How many of you here is first time? If there's any people, how many of you first time here? See, here we try to make different timing to go live. So sometime I go morning my time, sometime I go late at night. Like now it's almost middle of the night. It's going to be middle of the night after 30 minutes. So because now we can reach either into people who they live in the state, Canada, and to people who live in Indonesia, India, etc. So we try to make different timing. Sometime we go afternoon my time. So subscribe if you like to join us when we are live. All right. Muta is temporarily marriage. No, there's nowhere it says muta is. It says the word nikah is not marriage. It's the F. The word muta means pleasure, sexual pleasure. So how that is marriage? Somebody will marry a woman just to F her? How that is marriage? I mean, this is the most filthy, stupid, disgusting cult. Destroy the value of marriage. Destroy the value of a woman. And now women, she just exists for sex. Even heaven, we believe in Allah to get what? A lot of horny women. You enter the heaven, they will jump on you. There's videos in YouTube made by Muslim sheikhs. You will go crazy when you hear them. How those women, they will jump on you. One, she will suck your lips. The other one, she will suck your nipples. And the other one, she will suck... No comment. And the people sitting in the mosque, I don't want to mention what kind of a smell will be there. Because you can imagine how much hormone is coming with those details. The Prophet, he said, if you like to F a woman, you do it for 3 days, 3 nights if you wish. If you like to increase, you increase. If you like to decrease, you decrease. This is God? Why are Arabs, almost all of them Muslims, if they can read, who can leave the Quran, who can leave Islam in an Islamic country? They will kill you. Who can talk against the Quran? He will be dead in 2 seconds. You're asking why? It's a terrorist religion. 100 terrorists will terrify 1 million. If we have 100 people, they are willing to kill somebody speak against Muhammad, in a city have 10 million. The whole city will be scared. Because nobody want to die. Unless you are a Christian prince, you don't care. If you want to kill me, don't forget to do it before I pay for my coming bill for the internet. You know? I mean, don't let me pay for it and then you do it. Idiot. Any Abdul? Any brave Abdul? You know, and the other day a person says to me, like, you know, you don't look around you when you are walking. You don't sound worried. I said, I will be worried from what? He said, what if somebody kill you? I said, God, thank you. At least I will not see someone like you every day. That's a gift. Man. When you attach yourself to life, you don't enjoy life. When you are a person who is afraid, you did not live yet. People who they are afraid, they did not live yet. They are not even born. The second you are not afraid, now you are born. Now you are alive. History, remember, certain kind of people, either for their crimes or for their bravery, being heroes or being cowards or being filthy or being a thief, big thief. You have to be big in everything. You have to choose which one you want to be. Like now, everybody will remember Putin, that he is the one who bombed houses and children's. Brave, you know. And now he's trying to, soon he will start negotiating, trying to find a solution to get out of the mud. Muhammad, we will remember him. He's a child molester. Filthy coward, sleep only even with his own son, wife, claiming to be a prophet. Those false people, they will be remembered for their great sin. So in order to be remembered, you have to do something great, either a great sin, great crime, or a great deed. So choose one. Which one you want to be remembered with? Any Muhammadan? Come on, Muhammadan, I have to go and do nikah, okay? You know, once, long time ago, there was a person, he argued that they told him that the word nikah is not what I'm saying, I'm lying. So I said, okay, listen, I want you to do this. I want you to go to the, at that time it was like a Muslim chat room, you know, PalTalk. So I said to him, go to the Muslim chat room and tell them in the chat, I want to do nikah in English, you know. Let us see what they will say. If nikah means marriage, nobody will be upset, correct? If nikah means the F word, then you will hear a different response. So the guy, he went to the chat room, Muslim chat room, said, Assalamu alaikum. They said, Assalamu salam. Said, I want to do, guys, I decide to do nikah. And you will see they start cursing him. You filthy, if, etc., if, etc., if, etc. You want to do nikah here, you coward. Go out of here, blah, blah, blah. Like, what the heck? So they were lying to him all the time that nikah means marriage. He went to their chat room. He didn't know him, you know, and like whatever chat room. He said, I want to do nikah. Suddenly they want to, like, they are all over him, crazy, insulting him, the F word. And like, what happened? I just said I want to get married. No, you did not say that. You said you want to do nikah. Anyone want to do nikah would like to call me? Huh? It is nikah day. Hey Muslims, it's nikah day. We go to heaven, we do nikah. We come from heaven, we do nikah. How many years the orgasm? 70 years. What is killing me? It is 70. I'm really disappointed. Can't he make it 70 in 2 minutes? 70 years orgasm? If the orgasm is 70 years with each woman, how long is the sex? Listen carefully. If the orgasm is 70 years, the sex itself, how long? Any Muhammadan can help us? You go to meet Zakir Naik this year. You hear his voice, he's screaming, saying something. I don't know what he's doing. Hey, Zakir, are you there? Yes, Jepras, I'm having orgasm now. You come next year. Zakir Naik still have orgasm. He come 10 years after. Still he is having orgasm. He came 20 years after. He still his every orgasm. I'm really disappointed that it's only 70 years. I mean, why you don't add like 2 zeros more? What is the problem exactly? Any Abdul? Anyway, I think we had enough for today. Look like we are out of Muslims. They are doing nikah. And they are busy. Let me close the Skype. So guys, I hope you have a good time together today and you learn something good. I am the same as Allah. How I can have a son if I don't have a girlfriend? So me and Allah, we have the same problem. And I think me and Allah, we are going to go and find a solution. 70 years. I mean, this guy, he's stuck with numbers. Number 40, number 7, number 70. How many sect will be? 70, 71, 72, 73. How many women will have? 71, 72. Okay. How many orgasm? How many years orgasm? 70 years. I mean, what the heck? He's stuck with those numbers. Well, Muhammad, he invoked Allah and he sent him a dish of shish kebab and he ate it and he got the power of 40 men. I mean, why 40? I want an answer now. Why not 39? What's wrong with 39? Why not 41? Why 40? Is that Alibaba and the 40 thieves? Why Allah, he decide 40 is enough? Who want to help us? Isn't it better to do it unlimited? Like from time to time, I order like a prepaid phone. They give me unlimited text for $10. Unlimited calls for $10. Okay. Can't we get unlimited from Allah and I am prophet? Only 40. And not only that, Muhammad, he was promised to have the power of 40 men of people of heaven in heaven. So this is 40 men, the power of Muhammad in earth. Then Muhammad, he been promised by Allah, he will get another number, which is 40, but this time in heaven. 40 men in heaven, every one of them is his sexual ability is 100 man. So look at this. Muhammad will have the power. I'm typing with yellow. Let me change the color. Hold on. When Muhammad he go to heaven, Allah will give him the power of 40 men of heaven. I'm typing in Arabic. 40 men of heaven. So this is the power of Muhammad in heaven. 40 men of people of heaven. But maybe you do not know that people of heaven, each one of them, he will have the power of 100 men in earth. How many? Each one of those men, he will have the power of 100 men in boom boom. So what is the total power of Muhammad? Somebody give me the number. Muhammad, he will be getting the power of 40 men of those men, which each one of them, he have the power of 100 men in earth. What is the total number? Somebody help me. Come on. How much power Muhammad will have in the heaven. 4,000 men, thank you. Muhammad, he will have the power of 4,000 men of boom boom. Do you see why it's good to be a prophet? Aren't you convinced now that Muhammad is a prophet? Come on, be honest with me. You go to heaven, I go to heaven, we will get the power of 100 men in boom boom. Muhammad, he will get the power of 40 men of those men. Total of 4,000. Muhammad will be so much busy. And you are telling me he is not a prophet? What's wrong with you people? And look how the class of the talk. You see, when you listen to the Messiah, I mean, forgive me, Lord, we cannot compare. And Muhammad is talking about heaven and him. And what we will do. He said to them, when you go to heaven, you will do it dahman dahman. Let's type in Arabic, hold on. Dahman dahman, I cannot translate it for you. Because all of you under age when it's come to dahman dahman. A dahm is when you push it so hard with sound. Can you believe it? He's even describing how the effing is done. It's not slow. It's not romantic. It is dahman dahman. This is how amazing Prophet of Allah. His ethic is high. His heaven is so high and hot. And a lot of action. Dahman, dahman. And he said, وَذَكَرٌ لَا يَمِلْ. What? And your penis will never go flaccid. Will never sleep. Look how amazing. Different story, it says, and a penis will never bend. You don't want to go to heaven and your penis is bending. What kind of penis that penis is? Made in China? No way Allah will let that happen to you. After all the promise to have all this power, and then you go to heaven, and then your penis is zip. Like, what the heck? Muhammad, he swear by Allah, saying, there is no one whom Allah will admit to paradise, but Allah will marry him, not marry him. He will do, actually, here it says marry, I have to admit. Here it says marry, not nikah. Will marry him to 72 wives, 2 from the houris, and 70 from the inheritance of people of hell. Those are hookers. All of whom will have desirable front passages, which mean nice vagina, nice breast. Allah don't care for the ass, by the way, like the front passages. Okay, and he will have a male member that never have become a flaccid, i.e. soft and limp. Thank you for the bracket, by the way, Abdul. I mean, if not you helping us, then us, i.e. soft and limp, we will not understand. We really appreciate your help. Look, will never become flaccid, i.e. soft and limp. Now listen, ladies, imagine now you are in heaven and you are one of those 72. And then you got Abdul, and supposedly he is ready for it. And then when he take off his clothes, zzz, like, what the heck? Abdul, do something. It's not working. What? I'm waiting for all those years and now it's not working? This is not fair. Look at the promise of Allah. You have a, you see, Jesus, he promised salvation. Muhammad, he promised a penis will never go limp. What do you want more? It's time to convert, brother. Imagine somebody now in the street, he's speaking to people saying, I'm a prophet of God, and if you believe in me, I promise you, my God will never let your penis go limp. There's an actor in Egypt, his name is Limbi. Limp. Anyway, I saw a duck, she said to me, good luck. Oh, Lord have mercy. I better go. It is time, you know, before things getting limp. Enough limp is enough, you know. Enough, man. That's too much limpy. I'm really convinced that Muhammad is a prophet. And if you are not really convinced, it's your problem. I feel sorry for you. And now I hope why those Abdul, they are desperate, crying because people leave in Islam left and right. Thank you all for being here. May the Lord bless you all. We pray for the Muslim to see the truth, and the truth will set them free. God is good, my friend. God did not leave the Muslims alone. We are here to help them. Thank you all. Until we see you soon again. Christ is Lord, and Islam is a scam. And we prove it every day. Take care.
That over 100,000 Muslims leave Islam every single year. Our youth are full of doubts.
And that is Muslim youth leaving Islam. 24% of Muslim youth are leaving Islam.
Your child is about to become apostate. Your child is about to become apostate. In America, this is the last thing, 23% are becoming apostates of Muslims, American-born Muslims. Wallahi.
One of the more shocking things that I have experienced over the course of those years are the number of young boys and girls aged between 13 to 18 who have openly declared their apostasy to me.
Do you know how many Muslims became atheists today? Polls conducted in the Muslim world reveal that up to 5% of Muslims in some of the most conservative Muslim countries in the world are closet atheists.
Addressing their parents, their family, and telling them, I don't believe in Allah. I don't believe that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a messenger of Allah. I don't believe.
Rahila says, can we be friends with Shia? The norm